The gentle irony of an extraordinary life is this iconic image. The goaltender at rest, erect in his crease, arms folded on the knob of his stick, an athlete in repose, watching the game and the world go by. In his 78 years, Ken Dryden was something more, someone different. He was a big man brimming with big ideas, always eager for the next thing. He was the best goalie of his era, backstopped Canada in the most famous game in its history, provided color commentary on the most famous game in American history, wrote the best book on his sport, earned a law degree, became president of an NHL team, was elected to Parliament and served as a cabinet minister, wrote more books, and in his later years lobbied tirelessly to make the game he loved safer in his stubborn quest to curtail brain injuries. This was not merely a hockey life. These were several rich and principled lives, latticed into an eloquent exemplar of man in perpetual motion. The thread of his days is long, the resume unmatched. After winning 76 of 80 games at Cornell and winning all 6 of his regular season starts as a rookie, he was thrust into the Canadiens' net in the first round of the 1971 playoffs against the big, bad Bruins. Shockingly, Montreal won the series against the defending champions.
And the Montreal Canadiens race out onto the ice to congratulate rookie goaltender Ken Dryden.
Phil Esposito labeled the 6'4" goalie a thieving giraffe, and then Montreal won the Stanley Cup. Dryden would win the Conn Smythe Trophy before he would win the Calder Trophy the following year, the only NHL player to do so. He played 8 seasons, winning 5 Vezina trophies and 6 Stanley Cups for the dynastic Canadiens, including 4 straight to end the decade before retiring at the age of 31. The numbers seem otherworldly, but the only real surprise is that in the midst of it all, Dryden took the 73-74 season off to article for a Toronto law firm. There never has been a gap year quite like it. Dryden shared Canada's net with Tony Esposito in the 1972 Summit Series, owning the disaster in Game 1 at the Forum as humbly as he did the triumph in Game 8 in Moscow, the pinnacle of Canadian hockey.
Dryden played it back to the goal. 2 seconds. The game is over, and Canada have won the series.
He would experience its American analog almost 8 years later, this time wearing a blue sweater and not a number 29 hockey sweater. The recently retired Dryden was the analyst with Al Michaels when the USA shocked the Soviet Union at the 1980 Olympics. Like a Hall of Fame goalie, he was in the right place at the right time. Miraculous. His next triumph was on the printed page 3 years later. The game, Dryden's reflection on the 78-79 season, his last in the NHL, was introspective and illuminating, written with a polished prose that has sustained it through the decades. Sports Illustrated ranked it the 9th greatest sports book of all time. Dryden, lawyer and author, was hardly done with hockey. In 1997, he was named the Maple Leafs president. In 7 years, Toronto twice reached the conference final. Perhaps of more significance for the franchise's business, in 1998, he helped successfully maneuver Toronto back into the time zone-friendly Eastern Conference. He turned to politics. Elected as a Liberal MP for York Centre in 2004, Dryden served as Minister of Social Development in Paul Martin's cabinet. He was defeated in 2011. Dryden continued to write, including a 2019 biography of his Canadiens coach, Scotty Bowman. But his most passionate and best work came in 2017, a book titled Game Change, The Life and Death of Steve Montador and the Future of Hockey. In it, Dryden crusaded for the elimination of hits to the head, establishing himself as a driving force aligned with, yet against, a sport that he thought was dragging its feet. In an email sent to Dryden's closest friends on Friday before her husband's death was publicly announced, Linda Dryden wrote about Ken's commitment to make hockey just as exciting to play and watch, but less dangerous for everybody's kids and grandkids. Now he rests, a hockey and Canadian giant who spoke quietly and acted loudly. He stands tall, indelibly.